What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another video. I'm not sure if you guys will find this interesting or not, but I thought it was interesting enough to share with you. I've got a few different things as it relates to CGC. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you their new online submission form, and I'm actually going to walk you through it, just like I'm going to do with a couple of comics that should be here any day for me. So, first of all, I'm going to talk about something that I don't really talk about that much, but it's considered a graded collectible, and I try to discuss graded collectibles where possible on the side. I focus on comics and action figures, but CGC did just announce that they are adding several different trading cards to their lineup of cards that they're willing to accept for grading. PSA, the kind of big boy in graded trading cards, they have like a year backlog. We've talked about that in many past videos. CGC is fairly new to the trading card game, and they focused only on Pokemon and Magic the Gathering historically. But they've added a number of new card games, 11 of them to be exact. Digimon, Dragon Ball Super, Final Fantasy, Fire Emblem Cypher. I don't know what any of that stuff is, but I know that they are grading them now. So I'll include a link in the video description with a link to this article, so you guys can take a look at it if you do collect graded trading cards. Some of my subscribers do collect those. So very interesting, and I thought folks would like to know that. The more interesting stuff relates to the comic book world, which I've kind of dove into head first into a concrete pylon, if you ask me, with how many graded comic books I've been picking up. But CGC is kind of in a state of flux right now. We've talked about how the fact that they just got purchased by Blackstone Group, a Wall Street-backed investment fund with big money. And as part of that, CGC is trying to improve their turnaround times. They're trying to improve their quality of service. They're trying to add new service. And I am a paying member. They have different tiers of membership at CGC. And they just announced on December 16th that as a free service to all associate and higher members, that grader notes for specific comics that have been submitted in the past will now be viewable to anyone. Historically, they've only shown you graders notes for your submissions, and you couldn't find the graders notes without paying, I don't think, for other people's submissions if you're trying to find some more details as to the condition of a book. So, to me, that should have been free a long time ago, right? If you're a paying associate and you're looking up past certification numbers of past books that they've graded in the past, you should be able to look at the graders notes. And what are graders notes? Well, some examples of CGC graders notes include, things that are defects on the book and why it got the grade it did. So if it got an 8.5, those graders notes should note, top spine water damage, staple rusted with rust, stained interior heavy tanning on the pages instead of white pages. So those are all examples. Obviously, you can have missing pages for really rare books that are still graded very low. So all of those things can happen. Now, I actually submitted a book, and for the first time ever, they included a grader's note on there. And so I submitted on November 10th, a Moon Knight #3, which is the first full comic appearance of a villain named Hunter's Moon. That book had jumped up to like $200 in a CGC 9.8, and I had a few examples. So I sent one in, and it only got a 9.6, and I was like, oh, that's a bummer. And I thought I was going to get a 9.8. But they did include grader's notes as to why it got the 9.6. And so as you can see here, it's got the certification number, and you can type it in for any certification number now. There's a search bar, and it'll pull up that specific comic, when it was graded, what the issue is, and what the grade is, the category for it, any other kind of notes on the art, all the typical stuff that you find on the CGC label. But the grader's notes will now be shown to if you're an associate or higher level member at CGC. And so it says very light spine stress lines on the cover that break color. And that's a big thing for those of you who are kind of new to graded comics. If you have a color breaking stress mark or a spine tick, that will ding the comic score. And I didn't notice them when I sent it in. But sure enough, when I got it back, I did notice very, very light spine stress marks all along up and down the book. And if I had noticed it, I probably wouldn't have graded it. But I didn't notice it. So it did come back with a 9.6, which is still a very high grade, don't get me wrong. But for modern books like this that just came out, this book just came out in November, That gives you an example of what the grader's notes look like, and I just thought folks would like to see that. Now, what are turnaround times looking like right now? As I mentioned, CGC is really trying hard to get those turnaround times down, and where they have really improved is the actual opening and kind of inputting into their system, into their wait line, their queue for grading of books. It used to be a 2-month turnaround. I submitted books July 1st that arrived at the facility July 1st. They were not opened and filed into the queue of books to be graded until August 28th. So it's almost 2 months. Now, as you can see here at the top, they're opening books the week of December 20th. Today is the 29th. So that's a 9-day backlog. That's amazing. And it's really a testament to how quickly they have cut out that 2-month wait time just to get in line, So what does the current turnaround time look like? Well, for modern books from 1975 to present, the current wait time is 149 business days. If you fast track it and pay an extra $15 on top of the original fee of $22, the fast track time gets cut almost in half to 80 business days. So it's still a really long turnaround time right now. You're looking at about 6 months or so. And if you're like me and you're pre-screening, meaning that if you submit a minimum of 25 books for a pre-screen, I'm doing all mine at a 9.8 pre-screen. If they hit 9.8, they charge you the grading fee. If they do not, then you get charged an $8 reject fee. But that adds another 15 business days on top of it. So another 2 weeks or 3 weeks roughly to your turnaround times. So my turnaround times are going to be pretty long, but they are in the process of completing my first batch ever. I'm not expecting great turnout because the first batch I didn't press and clean them, so they were unpressed. So who knows how well I do? I'm guessing maybe half of them might hit a 9.8 if I'm lucky, but we'll see when those come back over the next, I'm guessing, couple weeks. But I just wanted to share those turnaround times with you. If you have an express book, you're paying $120 per book, and the turnaround time is about a month, a little bit less, or maybe a little bit more. My turnaround time for the express books I sent, as you've seen in past videos, was about 2 weeks. So that's increased as well. But the big one is this one for modern books, 1975 to present, 149 business days. That's long. Okay, so I wanted to show you this book. This is a book I've got coming, Star Wars High Republic Adventures Annual Number 1. So I've got 2 of these coming raw, ungraded, that I'm going to get graded. Now, I don't have this cover. This is the first full appearance of Bel Zettifar, a Jedi Padawan, and his Charhound, Ember. And so this is the regular cover, but this is the exclusive cover for thingsfromanotherworld.com. They had these exclusive covers. These sold out in like 5 minutes. It was crazy. And I was able to get 2 of them. That was the limit. You could get max of 2. So this is the cool cover that actually shows Bel Zettifar and his Charhound, which is kind of like a dragon dog thing that breathes fire, on the cover. And it sold out immediately. So I've got 2 of those coming any day now, and I'm going to submit them to grading with CGC. So I wanted to show you what that looked like. So if you let's say you have an account with CGC, you just log in to your My CGC account. It's really easy to set up an account. And then you go to this forms page, submission forms for CGC. They recently improved the submission process. And in the past, when I submitted 25 books for a 9.8 pre-screen, it took forever. I'm talking hours, because it was such a cumbersome online submission system. And AFA could learn from how easy it was, for me anyway, to submit. I'm going to do an example right now for these 2 books, and it's this one right here, and it's just literally just came out this month. But they have really improved it. So let's start a new order. If you click on Start a New Order, it takes you to this screen, and you get to pick what is it that you're grading. And in my case, it's a comic, but they got posters, trading cards, magazines. So I click on comic, and then it's either mail in or drop off. Now, you can only mail in if you are a paying member, which I am. So I'm going to say mail in. You can drop it off at shows if you're not a paying member, though. I'm going to do mail in, and this is what kind of service are you wanting to do. You can get it pressed, you can get it reholdered if it's already been graded and the case is kind of messed up. I've done that myself, and that was really quick. But in my case, it's straight grading, right? Because I got two books that are going to be graded. You have to sign the online consent that says we're not responsible for damages, so you click on agree. It's in the modern tier, right, because it's 1975 to present. And so I'm going to click on modern, and it says click on add-ons. Well, my add-ons are fast track. I'm going to fast track both of these books. So you click on fast track, and then you hit add comic. And then once you go to add comic, then you need to look it up. Now, in my case, this book is not here yet, or it's not, most likely not within their system yet, but let's look to see if it is. So again, it's Star Wars High Republic Adventures Annual. So I'm going to type in High Republic Adventures Annual and see if it's in there yet. There's obviously High Republic Adventure. So it says I can't find my comic because this one, it just came out. It hasn't been graded yet. So at that point, it pulls up a new comic to be submitted. I've got two of them. My declared value before grading, I'm going to say, $25 per book. And the name of the book is Star Wars High Republic Adventures Annual 2021, because that's the name of the book. The publisher is IDW, so you put that in there. Issue 1, and the issue date is December of 2021. And then mine is a variant, right? Because I've got a variant cover. I've got the very exclusive Things from Another World John Lamb cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to steal this from League of Comic Geeks and put that as the variant cover. Country it was made was USA. And then we're going to add comic. And it's literally that easy. All you got to do from there is check out, pay by credit card, print out the form, and I'm not going to do that because I haven't got the book in hand yet. I want to make sure I get the books first and check out the condition. But for me to submit both of those books in a fast track, so I'll get them back in about 3 months, it's going to be about $71. So not cheap, and that does not include shipping yet. You got to go through the shipping process. And you got to input your credit card, print out the form, submit them, and all that kind of thing. But to me, this is amazing how fast and easy it is compared to what it used to be like. I mean, literally for a 25-book pre-screen, even for books that they've already graded before, it wouldn't pull up correctly. It was very cumbersome. It wouldn't recognize the book when you tried to click on it. It was a real mess. It was a real mess. And this is completely streamlined. AFA, you need to take note here as to how easy this is. And I hope that your online submission system that you're working on, apparently or supposedly, is as easy as CGC's and as easy as Collector Archive Services is. But I wanted to show this because maybe, given how new this new online submission system is, some of you may not have done this yet, and I just thought it was worth showing. That's all I really had for this comic. Please comment below if you guys have tried out the new submission system. Let me know if you have any books at CGC, what kind of grades you're seeing when you're starting to receive your shipments back. I should have 65 books in a pre-screen. I don't know how many of those will hit 9.8 though, versus being rejected, but I should have those back in the next few weeks. So we'll take a look at those, and it'll be my first ever CGC unboxing. So I hope to have some really cool books to show you. That's all I really had. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.